People are always looking for clues into what a leader really believes in private. Reagan in his heart knew that he was challenging the Soviet Union so that he could bargain and try to end the Cold War, but most Americans did not know that.
In August of 1984, while doing a mic check for a radio address, Ronald Reagan let slip a controversial joke.
All right, my fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
The radio gaffe only reinforces the public's perception of Reagan as a trigger-happy cowboy. As the 1984 election approaches, Democratic candidate Walter Mondale gains momentum.
We're in this together. It's not just my cause, it's our cause. We must win it.
Voters are nervous over Reagan's anti-Soviet saber-rattling. Despite concerns over his policies, Reagan's popularity wins him re-election by a landslide.
He had always wanted a Soviet leader that he could deal with. Now he was about to have that.
In March of 1985, Mikhail Gorbachev comes to power. He's a new breed of Soviet leader, an advocate for reform. He immediately agrees to a summit meeting with Reagan.
President Reagan always liked to take the measure of his opposite number in personal terms. So the first opportunity was at the Geneva summit meeting.
Are you up to going one-on-one with Mr. Gorbachev?
As I told you, he can't be tougher than Errol Flynn.
So the first visuals of the summit are Ronald Reagan walking down the steps. Out of the limousine in a Russian coat is Mikhail Gorbachev. He has a hat on, he has a scarf on. Reagan doesn't have his overcoat, and this is November of '85. So you have a fellow Ronald Reagan who's a generation older than Gorbachev, looking like $1 million Mikhail Gorbachev, this little man from this decrepit kind of empire. Gorbachev does something that is nice, but it played right into Reagan. He starts pointing to the difference of their overcoats.
It was a stunning image. I was watching this in the Soviet Union with a lot of friends. They had never seen Reagan on television. He had never been shown. When he came out like that, you should have heard the comments. They said, "Oh, what a country is America. That man, 75, and he's out there coatless, hatless."
He knew that that picture would go around the world and suggest not only that he was at the top of his game, but also that America was too.
When he started having a dialogue with Gorbachev, he basically felt he was someone he could deal with, and he frankly fought off within his own administration some people who believed that this was just the same old Soviet leader with a better smile.
I asked him, I said, "What did you tell Gorbachev?" And he said, well, basically I told him that he could not win the arms race. There was no way he was going to win it, that we would not allow that, he could not win it, and that we should negotiate. I interpret that was that he, in a very silky, soft, nice way, threatened him. Said, look, you can't win it, and we are going to win it. That's the way it's going to be.
The whole summit turned out to be about SDI. It was really remarkable because SDI, they had no money, they had no staff, they were just getting off the ground. It had been a presidential speech, it was a bunch of words. And somehow it just sent the Soviets up the wall.
Встречи были откровенными, продолжительными.
If the United States should find the will and determination to reconsider and evaluate all the ruinous aspects and consequences of the Star Wars program, then the road will be open to a constructive solution of the problem of security.
I guess you know that I've just come from Geneva. It was a constructive meeting, so constructive, in fact, that I look forward to welcoming Mr. Gorbachev to the United States next year. And